Hello, everyone, and I hope you guys are having an awesome Saturday. This is Sacred Para, and I am here today with three, not just one, not just two, but three amazing guests that I told you last time are extremely special to me. Everyone that I talk to are special guests to me, but these really do just pull at my heartstring. So, without further ado, I'm going to present you my three favorite guests, special guests in this whole wide world. And they're they're 3 of 10 special guests in my life. Hi, how are you, House of Echelon? Thank you so much for joining. So I'm going to move on to the side so you guys can see my special guests today. You guys can just squeeze in just a little. There you go. Because I did accidentally bump it. So these are my 3 special guests. They are, you may have already guessed, my daughters. This is Elizabeth. This is Erin. And this right here is London. So, oh, thank you. So beautiful. These are actually the whole beginning of Sacred Para right here. Has to do with them. So I'm going to adjust my camera just a bit because I happen to hit it. And we're going to squeeze in with each other. All right, so I hope you guys are having a really good day. I won't be able to press the wave button, but do know that I do say hi because the wave button is a little bit further from me. But I hope you guys are having a really good Saturday. And as you notice, we did come on a little bit later because I had to get everybody, all IG Live ready, get them all studio ready, get the hair and everything together. So, so it took a little bit of time. But I do want to thank you guys for being with us. I got my minis chilling with me. Gloria's over here. Minnie Sheeta's over here. And we just want to be able to talk to my 3 girls because they are Barbie girls themselves. Hold up your Barbies. Let everyone see. Yes, they are Barbie girls themselves. As you know, we talk about adult play therapy. But what would adult play therapy be if we didn't also talk to young people who childhood is being built by Barbie, built by dolls, built by play. And they will one day be adults. So I am going to talk to my girls today, who I said are my 3 favorite guests. And I'm really excited to be able to have this moment with them. I'm squeezing them in just a little bit so that faces and stuff aren't cut off. And like I said, this is Erin. She's my oldest girl. This is my second oldest girl, Elizabeth, and this is my 3rd, the baby girl. This is London. So we thank you guys for being with us. I'm going to ask you girls some questions. First, is this your first live?
Yes. No, the second. Yeah, it's the second, but...
It's your second live?
Yes, Mom, but...
Trying to think, did you guys do a live before?
Yes, Yarn Shahidi though.
Oh, that is right. That is right. So, yeah, this is their second. But, first, second. This is her first.
Yeah.
This is her first.
Yeah.
This is your first, isn't it, London? Yes, ma'am. All right, so cool. This is our first one. Hey, we got a first. You guys know I get very excited whenever we talk about first. Yes. So first line. There we go. All right. All right. So I usually ask the question, what is your background as a writer? Because I'm usually talking to adults, right? So we've already had experiences of writing from the time that we were young, or when we were teenagers, or in college, or when we were in our 20s. But these aren't 20-year-olds. These aren't even 15-year-olds. So I can't really ask that question as far as what's your background in writing. But I can ask you, do you aspire to be a writer? Is that something that you want to do in your future?
Yes.
What kind of things do you do right now that helps you to lean towards wanting to be a writer? Like, do you write poetry? Do you write short stories?
Sometimes I write short stories.
Yes, speak up.
Sometimes I write short stories.
She'll learn the skills of writing because she's a baby toddler. She's 3. So she's still learning the skills of writing. But nonetheless, one of the things that I have witnessed these young ladies do is that they create a storyline with their dolls. Where did you get that from, the concept of creating a storyline with your dolls?
You?
Oh,
Yeah, I really got it from... Yeah, I got it from Mom and Erin.
Okay. Now you are going to speak up just a little bit so everyone can hear you. So they said that they got it from me. What is it that interests you about stories? Because quite honestly, they're very, very fashionable. We're looking at aspiring fashionistas over here. You see that they're matching. And in fact, my oldest one was one who was like, let me get all their clothes together. She got everything washed up and ready for today so that they could all coordinate. So they could easily do photos where they're just doing fashion, or even in their own playtime, just do fashion or do nature, just do random conversations. What is it that makes you guys lean towards doing storylines with your dolls?
I don't really know.
I know.
What makes you like stories? Because they even get baby sister in on stories. Is it just something that's more, it adds to the playtime?
I think I like stories with more adventure and action and cliffhangers, and then you have to go back. Yeah, and guess it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we just recently watched a show, right? We watched Monk, which is more of like your mystery, who done it? Let's solve the mystery kind of deal. And one of the things that we saw was what did they do? They had
to go to the crime scene, and they had to piece it together, find the evidence.
They had to find the evidence. But we watched the show and the whole time didn't really know who it was, right? Because the way that they did the show, you had no clue who actually did it. So one of the things that we've learned is that we can pick up storylines from where?
From different movies. Yeah.
Movies. Books and shows, right?
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I get the awesome privilege of doing is participating in their storylines. And that's always a wonderful, fun adventure. I think a year ago, your dolls got married, right?
Yeah.
And so we had this full-scale wedding. Do you want to tell them what happened? You got to speak up loud, though. But what happened during your full-scale wedding?
I had 2 dolls that are getting married.
Mm-hmm. And who was it? Was Brenda?
Brenda and Robert.
Okay. Robert, okay.
Jacoby. And I had Elizabeth join, London join. I had Mom join. And we just had the marriage. We had the words. And then we had cake. And then we made them have a party.
The reception.
Yeah, the reception.
Well, even before then, though, we even had, I think, Daddy let us use his phone so we could have the
reception, and the song.
Yeah, because I was using my phone to record everything.
Yeah.
And then her doll, both of her dolls were the
preacher.
Yeah. So we got, the actual lines, her dolls are literally married. We did all the lines and everything. So those two could be wedded together. And they had their, their matrimony kiss and then they had their reception. Yeah. And it was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
And then we even did something recently for your birthday, right?
Yeah.
The
restaurant.
Yes, because your doll wanted to go out to the restaurant. So, of course, we have the pandemic going on. And, we don't know how much longer that's going on. And there are certain limitations that have been, lifted where we can go out and do things more. But there's still, that ongoing concern. I'm actually going to put one of my girls over here. Ongoing concern as far as how much that you do. So it just happened to be during that time of her birthday that we were in the house, and it was well, if we could do anything, we would go out to eat, right?
Yes.
And it was kind of I know what to do. We'll have our minis go out and hang out. And we had the restaurant set up. I think, did we do the food truck too?
Yeah, we did food truck.
Yeah. So we had all the dolls just stationed, and I had my Stacy doll at the grill and stuff. And we just had a swell time. I think I let you name the restaurant. What restaurant did she want to go to? It was Sister Girls.
Yeah, Sister Girls restaurant.
Anybody takes that name, we have the credit on that, okay? So we get royalties. So yeah, we went out to the restaurant, and they just had a really good time. And we even had, of course, like I said, London was involved with it, and she had her dolls there. So my question is, because I know we're sharing our stories and we're sharing our memories of being able to play together, what is it like for you girls? Because I know what it's like for me as your mom, but what is it like for you as my daughters, as my offspring, to interact and have, like that Barbie time with your mom?
Yeah, it's fun. I think that it helps us grow better in bonding together. It's also very fun, and you get it in your memory. Then when you get older, you talk about it, and it's great. Sometimes we learn life lessons. Yeah.
How so? Like, can you elaborate?
Like how to run a food truck and
A little louder.
how to run a food truck and stuff like that.
Okay.
And yeah, you also learn with the marriage, you get to know before you get married some of the how you will get married will happen in your wedding.
That's true. That's very, very true. How to plan it all out. There's a lot of planning that has to take place, isn't it? And doing the tuxedos. And we just, got on, the surface of it all with the tuxedos and the bridesmaids and bridegrooms and, or I should say, the groomsmen and all that stuff. How is it for you, London, being able to play dolls with your mom? Do you like it or do you not like it?
I like it.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always enjoy being able to spend time with them playing dolls. In fact, I wish I could do it more. But as you guys know, I do have 10 kids. So, there's the cooking that has to be done. There's, homeschooling that has to be done. There's the pumping because we got a 9-month-old. So, there's just a whole lot that goes on in life. And you're not able to do all those things that you want to do. Like, if I could break out the dolls and play with them every day, I definitely would. But, life still happens. But whenever I do get that chance to interact with them, it's always enjoyable for me. Now, one of the other things that I have as a question for you guys is, does it seem weird to you at all that your mom is almost 40 and has a whole bunch of dolls all around the house?
It's not weird to me. Not me either.
I mean, you can be honest. I saw the face when...
It's not weird to me.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
It's fun?
Yes, I want to see all those Barbies. To me, it seems a little normal.
Okay.
Yeah. Who doesn't play with Barbies?
Now, do you see yourself as an adult playing with your dolls still?
Hey. I do, but I don't. Sometimes not. Because it'll have to depend on how I grow up. That's if I'm still playing with Barbies. But it's in the middle.
It's in the middle.
Yeah, mostly, yes.
Now, I know, for me, I really hadn't planned on going back into playing with dolls. I had played with them, when I was their age, and I think when I was 14 or 15, then I kind of gave it up because I didn't really have anyone else to play Barbies with. And, you're told society-wise, aren't you getting kind of old? You shouldn't be doing that anymore. So I kept my dolls in a box, and actually was when I get married and have kids, then I'll play with them. I'll give them to my girls. And I still really hadn't thought of me actually playing and interacting, or definitely not photographing them because it was not on my mind. And what really did it for me was these two right here. And these two right here. She was actually too young. But they really did dig, the My Froggy Stuff videos. Shout out to My Froggy Stuff for inspiring young hearts and getting us kicked into gear who are older as far as still, being youthful and still being in touch with our fun side, with our creative side, with our childhood. So they wanted to get back into playing, or get me back into playing dolls. They're already doing it. And they wanted to do the fashions, right? And you want to do the dioramas and all the creative stuff that they had on the video. And I was really just looking at the video from the perspective of them being involved. And I didn't really see it as me, whatever I was doing to help, I would do. But it wasn't so much as me being hands-on, right? Mm-hmm. And then you guys talked to your dad, and you were like, what?
Well, if we can make Barbie clothes or do Barbies together.
Yeah. What were you guys, were you watching something with your dad? And that's how it came up?
Yeah, we were watching it was like a little girl who was playing with her Barbies. It was a reality TV show, and she was playing with her mom.
And they had talked to him. Huh? What were you about to say?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, so you guys had talked to your dad, and your dad came to me and was like, they really want to do this. It was like right at the cusp, like the very beginning of the pandemic, right? So it wasn't a whole lot going on. Country was in standstill. It was like, why not? Why not go ahead and do it right now? Yeah. And yeah. So we ended up doing the pictures. We put the pictures on my main page. And as soon as we started doing those little hashtags like Barbie, it was like all these other dolls came up. And it was like, what? I didn't know other people were doing this. Right? Yeah. And so I had this page, Sacred Para. I wasn't using it. I had initially wanted to do it for my hair. That's what it was for. I was going to talk about me having locks. I didn't even know if I was going to do any lives about it. I was just going to like post pictures of my hair and my lock journey and never use the page. So I just had this page just sitting there. And it made sense. It made sense to use this page for our pictures with our dolls. And of course, I ended up enjoying it. So now it's like my adult play therapy. But they still help me. In fact, kudos to them. Let's give a round of applause and shout out to them because yesterday they went hard to help me take these pictures for today's party, for the 2K party. So I already had some pictures from like a week or two ago, but the main pictures that you guys are seeing right now, they helped me with those, holding up the lights, all of that, helped me put on clothes. We had some really good bonding time, didn't we? Because some of it was like, why'd you do that? You bumped the diorama, no! And some of us like, good job. So anybody who's had to work with each other, your bonding time is sometimes going to be cringing. But it really did. It worked out great. They were just super at it. All of them got involved. All of them helped. And it was fun. And then we looked over the pictures, right? And what did you guys do while we looked over the pictures? What did you give me?
Storylines. Yeah.
Gave me storylines. They were like, oh, this one looks like she's saying this right here. Oh, in fact, so many of you guys laughed at the part where Ali's stomach is showing in his suit, and then you have Anthony who tells him like, man, your stomach's showing. And I love that part because that actually came from them. That came from their minds. They saw the picture and they saw the follow-up picture of him holding the stomach and was just like, yeah, it looks like he's telling him your stomach's showing. And I was like, okay, let me write that down. So that's what I do whenever they give me feedback on something or a suggestion or an idea. Write it down, don't I?
Yeah.
So write it down and I incorporate it in there because this is our page still. That's why I try my best to do my page on a PG-13, but I did say I am going to get a little bit more risky this year, but just not anything real crazy because my girls are still involved. So, what do you guys think about the doll community?
I think it's great. Yeah, I like doll community. It's a way to meet people on the internet, one, and two, you get to make storylines, but then also let everybody else see it and enjoy themselves off of it.
That's true. That's very, very, very true.
Cool.
That's very, very true. And how do you feel about your mom being involved with the doll community? Do you think that it's been something that's been helpful for me, or do you feel like it's... What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's very helpful. And it's fun to watch.
Very helpful and fun to watch.
Yeah, okay. I think it's helped you because sometimes when you're like feeling down, you grab your phone and look at other people's storylines, and it like helps you. Yeah, and it helps inspire you and encourages you, and it helps you show and you show other people.
That's true.
It also gives you ideas.
Yes, that's so very true. And that's the awesome thing about being involved with a community, right?
Yes.
Is being able to generate those ideas. What are your thoughts, London? What are your thoughts? Do you like it? Are you enjoying doing this live right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. You want to hold up your doll that you've been playing with? No, okay, that's all right. That's all right. So it has been very helpful, and it generates so many ideas for me creatively and just kind of gets me out of if I'm in a sad place or if I'm just feeling kind of down or kind of stressed, like a whole lot going on around me, and I pull out that phone, I'm able to get on there and connect with other creatives, and it helps. It helps. That's why I call you guys my IG family, because it really does help to push me and motivate me and get me through my day and encourage me. And then, of course, I've met some amazing people on here. Amazing people who I've been able to link up with and network with, and I don't mean so much like networking on a business tip. Network, just being able to link in energy wise and frequency wise and vibe wise and be able to connect, and that connection has been so valuable, freaking priceless for me. So I just want to be able to say that the effect that you guys have on me is more than just what goes on, with me texting or sending a message. The effect is felt in my household as well. And as you can tell, it's had a positive effect, right?
Yeah. I'm glad that you've been able to be a part of the doll community.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Yeah.
So one of my other questions is, do you use your dolls as actors?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes?
Yeah, like on my birthday, my dolls were making a play.
Okay. What about you?
I use Brenda, Charlotte, and one of my kids, Chase, sometimes for actors. And then I also try to, sometimes I use them in different storylines, but then I sometimes pretend it didn't happen.
And that's the fun thing about it. Tell us about Charlotte, because Charlotte at first was with
Robert,
yep. Right? And then you got Brenda for your birthday.
And I was like, I think I'm going to make her with him. And then I traded Charlotte for Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
Broke them up, and then they got together.
But then when we talked about it, I was like, so what's going on, with you, with Charlotte and Robert? And you were like, well, I just decided that relationship really never even happened. And that's like the cool thing. Like you can always revamp your story. If you have a story, we got a nugget. If you have a story that you're currently writing even, and you may have been on Instagram, part of the doll community, having your storyline for 2-3 years, and you decide, I don't really like where this is going. I don't really like the flow of it. I don't feel like I'm connecting with it anymore. Or like in her case, she got a whole new doll that she just loved. She was so attached to that she was like, this doll right here needs to be paired with him. And it wasn't a matter of a divorce or breaking up or dissolution, or dissolving of the relationship between Charlotte and Robert. It was just, that one didn't happen. I wrote that one, but I decided, I want to change it up. And so she changed it up and did something different. So don't be so stuck on your characters or on a plot or storyline that you don't change it up. Because it's all about having, say it.
Story.
Fun. No, you're fine. She was like, it's all about having fun. Let's have fun. Although we're adults and although you're kids, because kids have their own stress. I mean, you guys still have chores. You guys still have things that you have to do. You have to do your schoolwork, right? Mm-hmm. You guys are responsible for setting a good example in front of each other. And sometimes when you're a kid, that could be pretty massive of a responsibility to do. But nonetheless, whatever you have that can feel overwhelming or stressful, you want to be able to kind of escape into your creative zone, whatever that play is for you, and have fun with it. So my next question would be to you guys. Do you feel like playing Barbies has made you more creative?
Yes.
Okay, and in what way?
Like writing books.
Okay.
Like it helps you like write down stuff too about your Barbies.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Lizzie said, it helps me write books. What I do, I can take my Barbies and play with them, and then I use them for a storyline, or I could Actually, if I wouldn't have played with Barbies, I would be very bored all the time. Yeah, they also talk to you and help you write down what they have, like what day of birth, how old they are. So
Good. I'm glad that they brought that up. There were some really good points. So if I didn't have Barbies in my life at all, I'd probably be bored. She said about journaling and writing down things, and she's talking about being able to write a story and use your dolls and being able to see those dolls do the things that help bring your story to life. What were you saying? She's giving us a live show right now. So it helps to be able to even bring out small voices, because quite honestly, she's really kind of shy, isn't she? Yeah. Now, whenever we put the camera on, or we FaceTime a relative, or we go to the doctor's office, stuff of that nature, or go out to Walmart, whatever the case is, she's kind of quiet. So for her to be able to even do a live interaction, a live play for you guys is like, wow, okay, that's a win. So it helps bring out a side of you that otherwise you may kind of keep to yourself. One of the things that I really do enjoy about dolls and being able to interact with them and interact with our community and interact with my girls with them is that it does bring out more of a creative side, as far as like if our dolls need some clothes, what do we do?
Like we change them. We change them together.
We change them, but we also sew them.
Yeah.
Like this outfit right here, I sewed this one, right? This one right here and this one, they will take scraps of paper, or not paper, but scraps of fabric, and knot it up and make tunics out of it. She makes swimsuits and lingerie out of it. Yes, lingerie. I don't think that she knows that it's lingerie, but we're like, oh, that's a little risky. That's a little risque, isn't it? Those shorts are awfully short. But she'll just take the fabric and in her own design, her own way, knots it up, and she has a full scale outfit for her doll. And I should have asked her to bring it, but next time she'll do that. Even right now, hold up Charlotte to the phone. You can bring her closer to the phone. You're going to notice around her neck and around her belly, and you lift up her shirt a little, not showing her boobies, but lift it up. You're going to see she has jewelry all on there. Do you know why? Because she bedazzled her. And that was her idea to do. This one right here, same thing. She's always, following right along with her sister to take the fabric and make her own clothes with them. And she's like, here, look at this, Mom. Look what I did. So it brings out a whole nother creative aspect. This one right here, now this one has always wrote stories, wrote poems. She's always done that, still does. Right now, she's actually got her little self into some trouble, and so part of our punishment to her was like, you've got to write us a story, and it's got to have a moral to it. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's part of a punishment that she had, but we know that she can get it done, and we want her to be able to do it in such a way so that she could see the moral value of it. That's not been a case with her as far as writing. She's always had that creative energy towards it. She's always wanted to write, but it was you were kind of blocked on it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She kind of went through like a writer's block. Like she would want to write, and then she'd be like, I don't know what I'm going to write. And then she'd start, and then she just kind of go like, I don't know. And then she would go off and do something else. But what I've noticed between last year and this year of us interacting and playing together and, playing dolls together, she's writing. Like, you wrote a whole story, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't share the title. Don't share the title. We gotta wait till it gets published. But she wrote a whole story, and now is currently typing that story out. And one of the awesome things is that I talked to them yesterday. They're talking about, we need to have a shared story where we can write one story together. They're like, I see how we can get this done. And so I gave you guys some creative tips on how to get that done, right?
Yes, ma'am. We're actually starting on it.
They've already started on it, so don't share your topic or your theme. But what I had shared with them, and I'm going to share it with you as well. There's 2 different ways that you can actually collaborate on a story. And I'm pretty sure there's even more than that, quite honestly, because we have some wonderful creatives on here that collaborate. And I can think of some names off the top of my head, but you guys, you get together and you write these wonderful stories. You take these awesome and amazing pictures, and you do it through collaboration. So I was sharing with them one of the ways, and if you can think of any more, definitely write it in the comments. or after this video, put it in the comments so that other people can see your writing process and how you're able to do it in a collaboration with either 1 or 2 or 5 or 6 other people. One of the things that I shared with them was she can write her part, right? And, you know, you guys can discuss every which way of it as far as if you are agreeing. So if she's like, oh, well, it's going to be a girl and her mother, and they're going to go through all these different misadventures, and it's also that the daughter can be able to come into a full blossoming of being a woman, right?
Yes.
And so let's say, and I'm just being, you know, I'm just sharing an idea. This isn't anything concrete. It's not even with their story. But let's say that during one of the misadventures, they happen to meet a cat, and the daughter wants to get the cat. I think I'm kind of like pulling from my own life. The daughter wants to get the cat, and the mother's like, no, you can't get the cat. And the cat, you know, she sticks the cat in, and the cat, you know, messes up all the curtains and pees everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that's her idea. She discusses it with her, and she's like, well, I really don't want it to be a cat. I want it to be a dog. So then they spend about another 2-3 days discussing if it should be a cat or a dog. And then they write that part, and then it's her turn to give her story. You can do that as a collaboration, but it's going to take a real long time because both parties have to agree that that's what we're going to do. Am I right? Or in this case, if all 3 of them are writing together, all 3 of them would have to agree. If they wanted to be a cat, if they wanted to be a dog, I don't want her to sneak in anything. I think that she should just go ahead and do what her mom says, and then she could just be really, really sad because she wants an animal, and then her mom sees her sad, and then she gets her a pet. They could spend a long time debating that before ink hits the paper or fingers type on any keypads. That could take a really long time, but that's one concept of being able to do a collaboration, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the second way that I told you could do a collaboration that would make it a little bit faster?
That you write in like a notebook, and then you get to the other person to write on. They read over it. Mm-hmm. They read over it and then see what's happening, and then see if they like it.
But in that case, now with the second concept of what she's talking about, because I actually did this one, I'm just going to move your head just a little bit so you're in the frame. I did this concept when I was in 8th grade. I had a friend of mine named Linda, and I'm not going to share her last name. But Linda and I were really good friends. Both loved writing. Loved it so much. Wrote our own little personal stories. And then one day it was like, oh, why don't we write one together? Yes, let's do that. So we took a notebook, and I think it was a red notebook. Like, I remember it that clear. It was a red cover on the notebook. And I would write my story, right? And I would have it, you know, maybe like 2 days, and I would, you know, fill it up with whatever storyline that I had in mind. I would then take the notebook to school, give it to Linda. Linda would look over what I wrote, and part of the agreement was whatever I write, you can't change. You can only build from that. And that went with whatever I wrote as well as whatever she would write. So whenever I would get the notebook back after she wrote in it, I would read what she wrote, and then I would take that character or characters and just push the story forward, right? Yes, but I was not allowed to go back and rewrite or say, well, I don't like what you put right here. I think it should go this way. It was just a matter of, I'm going to trust what you write, and then you're going to trust what I write, and we're going to let this story go forward. And it was so awesome. It was an amazing time. It was fun. I can't remember who got the notebook last. I think we ended up writing like 2 notebook worth, and I think I had one. I think she did too. I don't know. Not all of it was PG-13 information. Some of it was like rated R. You know, in the minds of middle schoolers, huh? It was very, very naughty stuff in there too. But it was just us releasing our creative energy and just having fun with story. And that's one of the things that you do want to do. You want to continue to have fun with story. I hear my kids all the time talking about story. Between my girls, I hear our boys, like your brothers, what they was talking about. Don't mess up my movie. Yeah. They create these verbal movies. Like, literally, they're just like, and then this character's going to do this, and then this ninja pops out here, and then this is going to happen right here, and you know what I'm thinking right here? And they create it in such a way that they're literally seeing it just by their words. So it's important to not neglect what children are saying, because literally it's the blueprint of play. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. So, do you guys want to share any thoughts, any ideas that you have about the importance of play? Why do you think it's important, or do you not think it's important?
To me, it's very helpful with them learning life lessons and bonding with people and making connections.
I agree.
You can even have mysteries with your Barbies, like solving a case in a crime scene.
Yeah. This is a future detective right here.
I think it's important because sometimes you can have something stuck in your head and you don't know another way to get it out, so you write it. Or you do it with Barbies. Sometimes you can be going through something and the only way you can express it is through writing or Barbies and play. So that's some of the reasons why it is important. Yeah.
Future therapist right here. But she's right. They're both right. You can be able to learn life lessons with your dolls. And those life lessons could be anything from a crime, being able to solve a crime, as she said, or even if you have a situation where maybe you have a child doll and you got the parents and that child is having a real bad problem with lying, and the parents are having to, talk to the child about, the importance of not lying. Or you could even have, what did we just watch on Bluey? Right? We had a kid that was being bullied, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Bluey's little sister.
Bingo
was being bullied, and mom and dad really couldn't step in, could they? And I think like a lot of times we're expecting the parents to, come marching in and saying, my child's being bullied and I don't like that. But Bingo, I don't know why I want to say Bluey, but Bingo had to work out the situation herself. And her parents would give suggestions like, next time, this child says this to you, you need to go ahead and talk to your teacher. And, they would talk to him again, or talk to her again and say, how did it go? What did you do right here? And I think in the end, she ended up becoming like friends with the bully.
Yes, well, because the bully got
bullied too.
Yeah, and then they became friends.
So that had to do with life lessons, is that sometimes you can't always see. I was paying attention. I thought I wasn't. I was doing hair, but I was paying attention. And the life lesson was not all the time you're going to really be able to step in there and become, the hero or the shero in order to change the situation for your child. Your child has to be able to learn how to handle difficult situations of suffering and challenges and overcoming them themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so our dolls can do that same thing, that there can be storylines that we act out with our dolls that actually helps us as well. Just like she said, by being able to listen to our characters, hearing what our dolls are saying to us, what their age and their personality and who they are, and then having another doll that's the opposite of that can kind of talk to that doll, right, and help them through their situation. So it's important for us to be able to have our dolls be able to interact and have those life situations. I think we're having an issue with barrettes over here. It's okay. No. It's okay. We'll get the barrettes together. The barrettes, I never ever expect barrettes to stay in all day. I'm actually shocked, Elizabeth, that even stayed in as long as it has. Mm-hmm. I was sitting over here, I felt one, it was already missing. I was like, oh, okay. And there was another one missing. I'm not surprised. We usually don't do barrettes in her hair. We did this especially for you guys because barrettes don't last in her hair at all. Like, she's been known, as soon as she gets barrettes, she's like pulling them out. Although my husband, he says it in the most cutest way. He says barrettes. I love it. We both we say it different, and I love it. But enough of that. Oh my gosh. And I gotta show you girls, this is off subject, but there is some new, like a whole new wave of fashionistas coming out. I gotta show you. I didn't get a chance to show you. They look gorgeous. They really, really do. And they got one, and she's brown skin, has freckles. Yes! I love freckles. My husband has freckles. I do. I adore freckles. I think like back in the days, I tried to like pretend that I have freckles and stuff.
I want freckles.
I love freckles. I know.
Too.
You do too.
I love freckles.
I love freckles. I love freckles. I think that they're adorable.
And
I
dimples.
like
Dimples are cool.
Yeah, dimples. Yeah. Dimples.
Dimples.
I used to stick my finger in my cheeks to try to get dimples when I was younger. I think I got like one side that has a dimple. But
Yeah,
it's kind of there. But your youngest brother, he has dimples for days. He's just like he smiled and just like, So I think the only question that I would ask you guys, lastly, is it easier to play with one doll, or is it easier to play with two dolls, or is it easier to play with a whole cast of dolls where you got 5, 6, and 7 dolls?
A whole cat, like 3 or a cast.
3 dolls or a cast? Why?
It's like easier because you don't have like one Barbie and she's just like talking to herself, and you have like more Barbies and they're communicating with each other. You don't have to be lonely playing with them.
I like that.
I think it's not easy to play with multiple dolls, but sometimes it's not easy to play with even one doll.
So what would be your reason? Thank you.
I guess if you play with one doll by itself, you would have to like have someone to interact with her, or him or her, or you have to think of their storyline without someone being with them.
Okay.
And multiple dolls, you have to keep up with them. Like, oh wait, I forgot to get such and such over here, and oh no, I've had her in too long. So it's not easy on both ways. So I'm like in the middle. Like, I don't care how much I have. I got like multiple dolls, but sometimes when you pose them, but sometimes one doll is pretty fun to play with, especially posing. Like, you have them posing one space and you don't have to worry about having to try to stand one doll or holding it one and trying to take the picture.
And what about you, London? Do you like having... Oh, she's looking for her breath. Do you like having one doll or 2 dolls? Do you know? What do you like?
2 dolls.
You like 2 dolls? Why?
Because I want to.
Because you want to. Okay, I understand that. Sometimes that's all it is. It's just, I want to have these dolls, and I'm going to play with these dolls. I'm going to photograph these dolls because I want to. And that's just the bottom line to it. No clear reason other than I want to. And that's the main reason. Sometimes you don't have to have any other reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one you have today, is that your favorite doll? Okay. And I got another question that just came to me. How about these made-to-move dolls?
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on the made-to-move? Do you like the made-to-move, or do you like the dolls that are a little bit more stiff?
I like the stiff dolls, but I like made to move and the click clicks.
Oh yeah, they say click click because that's what I call the old school dolls that we had. It was a way to go click click. I love it, click click. You guys heard me talk about click click.
Yeah. I have click clicks. You can go back. You can stretch the legs. You can see the joints though.
Yeah,
but I still like them. I like the click clicks because when you move them, you don't see like the joints and stuff. But I also like movables because how far they move. Because of why? How far they move.
Because of how far they move, their flexibility. Let me squeeze you in just a little bit. Yeah, their flexibility is great. But I do miss the seamlessness of the old school dolls. Yeah. But I do love the factor being that, like, when it comes to posing, oh my God, posing is great. Has it ever become an issue for you? Like, and I'm really going to direct this question towards Aaron because the whole situation with Brenda.
Oh, yeah.
Will you talk about that? Like, what was that like for you with Brenda's hand?
Want me to explain what happened?
Yeah.
I have Brenda. Yes, she had 2 arms. She's a movable. I had her like on the book.
She's the extra doll.
Yeah, Barbie
extra with the. She has like a Barbie extra. She has the ponytail right here and the ponytail right here. Curvy.
Yes,
curvy.
Mm-hmm. She had that green like a scarf.
Yeah, but then the purple shirt.
Yeah.
With the stars.
Yeah. Well, I had her on a bookshelf. I was reading a book. I come back to her. Her hands off. She's on the floor. Her hands on the floor next to her. And I try to put the hand on. I can't put the hand on, so I had to ask Mom to put it on. She puts it on, but I can't move her hand all the way, like. So it's a difficulty to hold like a cup. I had to put in the other hand. And then I lost the hand. Yes. And it took me a while to find it. And now I had to like keep it in a case. And like when I'm playing with her, I had to keep the hand off of her. And if I'm like posing her, I can put the hand on. But when I'm like playing with her, I should put the hand away because it can get lost anytime.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would definitely be one of, I would say, the cons to Made a Move. Because the old school dolls, and even like with the fashionistas, the hands and all that stuff, and feet, they're going to stay with the doll because they don't move, right?
Yeah.
But when we get into having like, you know, the Made a Move, and we're constantly moving the hands and putting on clothes and everything else and trying to squeeze their arm through, it's fragile. It's a fragile situation. But out of that situation, what happened creatively when you couldn't find the hand? You said something that was so like, wow, okay, do that.
I made her but first, Mom gave me the idea of making her a sling or a cast. But then I said, or maybe we can make it like she was born without a hand.
So all these kind of like creative ideas came out of it. I do know that sometimes we can have the most unexpected stuff happen with our dolls. Come on now. I've seen people on here talk about like the head popped off or like the neck part broke or, you know, just different things. Like in her case, the hand was gone. We could not find the hand anywhere. And just so happened to be, she was in the kitchen dancing. We were doing
Food.
But I was showing you how to do like a waltz, right?
Oh, yeah, you're in the bathroom.
Yeah. So we were talking about like how to dance with the square. If anybody knows about the square, it's old school waltz, all right? And so she was just sitting there doing her thing. And while she's, you know, pretending to be dancing and learning how to, you know, be coordinated so that when the time does come and she goes to any balls or galas, she'll be prepared, right? Yeah. She looked and she's like, there's the hand, right?
It was.
Yeah, so like you found it right there at the kitchen table.
Yeah, it was not there like before. It was like right there.
Yeah,
in my face.
Yeah,
we looked there before,
and we looked everywhere. We looked everywhere. So out of this, you know, like we could easily just go ahead and get another doll for sure. Yeah, but out of this came new storylines where she was able to think creatively, where she had a sling for the doll for like a while.
Yeah.
And so she was able to learn how to be adaptive. You know, we talk about life lessons. She learned how to be able to adapt to a situation. Well, I can't change it. I still love my doll. I'm not going to put my doll up. Let me find a different way of fixing the storyline where it can still work. So maybe something happened where now she has to have a sling or a cast. And then it was like, oh, you know what? Not everybody's born with limbs. Some people, you know, don't have a hand. Some people don't have a foot. Why not put that in there? So she thought she pulled from like real life situations that happens to people and used it for her storyline. So just because something happens to your doll's not perfect, it doesn't come the way that you want it to, use it to your advantage. Make your storyline work. Okay? So that's one of the things. But then the other thing is that she's learning responsibility because now she has to be gentle with that hand. Because I know sometimes I've seen you've been like moving the hand and putting it inside the pocket. I'm like, hey, be gentle with that. So now she's like, you know what? If I'm going to, you know, keep up with this hand, I got to put it up. I got to put it up in a box. When I'm not playing with the hand, let me put it up somewhere so I can make sure that I can come back to the hand and put the hand right back on my doll, have my doll be able to work. So as you can tell, we're nearing the end of our life together. Our girls are over here starting to get a little bit flustered with each other over these rents. And so I don't want us to, you know, have like a straight up, you know, brawl, because this one right here, she's a little bit on the spicy side, right? So, if you guys have any questions or any comments, you can definitely share that right now. I'll give you guys about a good 60 seconds of sharing. If you girls have anything that you want to share or say, you can do that right now. Squeeze it so we can see ya.
I want a
Speak up.
I want a Barbie doll collection like how Mom does when I grow up.
Okay.
Like shelves of them.
She wants shelves of dolls when she gets older.
Yeah, like they're on stands inside of cabinets, all in one room though.
I want that too.
Like in a closet. Yeah. And then you have like a table and windows so you can pose them.
And so I would definitely say the dolls, our doll collection, our play therapy, it helps us to keep dreaming, right? It helps us to build creative archetypes or I should say archistructures in our head of what we want to happen next. Just like you said, when I get older, I want a bigger collection. I want to have shelves. I want to be able to have, dolls that's on stands and dolls in glass. So that gives you something to push towards, to be motivated by. I like that. What about you?
I want to say we have 3 types of dolls over here. You got a movable, then we have the stiff, and then we have the clicks.
And this one's a made to move.
Yeah.
And Gloria is of course a made to move. I'm not trying to leave Gloria behind. She was falling a whole lot off my leg.
Yeah, but with the clicks, you can't, like, when you bend them. Yeah, you can see the joints on this one. Let's see it. I don't really have anything right now.
Well, let me see if anyone had any comments or anything. Let's see here. It says, let's go all the way to the very beginning. Thank you guys for joining too. Hey, Queen Beautiful. Hi, everyone, for joining. Hi, Barb's World. Melco, Joe, thank you. Hey, hi, girls, beautiful young ladies. Melco, Jojo, 16. Go. Oh, awesome. Just pop in to say hello. Well, thank you. Winter Woods joined. Kelsey joined. Coach Play. Hi, Daddy. Hi. As you know, anything that you would need for your experience of nutrition and health, as health is wealth, weight loss journey, getting toned, getting fit, anything of that nature, definitely contact Coach Play. That is Coach Play with an I and not a Y. With an I. All right. Melco Jojo 16 go. This is great. I need to run. Sadly, I'll get it on replay. Great parenting. Oh, well, bless you. Helene 305. Carrigan. I do believe. I hope so. I apologize if I messed it up. God bless your girls. They are beautiful. Well, thank you. It helps me too. She is so sweet. Broke them up. Yeah, about your dolls. The queen of revamp. LOL. Okay, yes, that's right. Sometimes you find that they don't belong together anymore. That's very, very true. Yes, it's all about fun. When I was about their age, I would play with my Barbie for hours. I know, right? The same here. Oh my goodness. Now, I've shared with you guys stories about my best friend, Michelle, whose house I used to go over, and we would play all the time. Like, I'd go over there on a Friday. If we didn't have school on Friday, I was there Friday. I was there Saturday. I was there Sunday. We even had a fight before, like, literally a fight. Like, rolling down the steps, I hate your guts kind of fight. And I turned around to her mom, and her mom was like, we're like at the bottom of the steps. Her mom's like, I really think you need to go home for a little bit. Because I had been there like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it was like Sunday. And she's like, I really think you need to go ahead and go on home. And you guys need some space. And I looked at her mom, Mama Linda. And with the most serious face ever, I was like, okay, but can I come back for dinner? Her mom, man, they could cook so good over there. When there was nothing against my mom, they made steak and they had like potatoes and like salad and ranch dressing. Yes, I've told you girls that, and it was so good. And I was just like, yes. I was like, can I come for dinner? And she was like, She had that look to the side. She was like, oh, okay. And I did. I came there for dinner. I was like, Michelle doesn't even have to talk to me. I don't have to talk to Michelle, but I'm going to sit up here and eat. And I did. So, yeah, I loved Barbies. Every time I think about Barbies, I do think about being at their house because I had a great time. That's awesome. Yes, be right back. So, Unicorn Moon, Glamour Girl, I want to thank you guys so much for joining. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to say hi to everyone because I was sitting to the back, but I do want to thank everyone for joining us today. You girls did phenomenal. We're going to do this again. We have a bunch of ideas in our minds that we want to be able to illustrate before you when it comes to doing these lives and talking about our dolls and talking about storyline and talking about play. One of the other things I do want to say is out of anything that you could have learned today, anything that you could have picked up today, know that you can do whatever you want with your storyline. It's your storyline. Have fun with it. What did you want to add?
And stay creative.
Stay creative. Stay creative. Anyone can write. I always say that. Anyone can write, and I feel that in my heart. I get that from when Bob Ross used to say that anyone can paint. Anyone can write. And the main thing is being creative and having fun with it. Don't feel like you're stuck with your storyline. If you want to do something different, do it. I hear these girls all the time with their dolls, and remember, we played, our dolls together, and none of their dolls are really set in stone with a particular profession. Am I right?
Yeah.
They're not set in stone on if they're even in the same modern century. They could play and be like, hey, today we're doing some sci-fi stuff with our dolls. Same name, but we're out here in outer space and we're going to, canvas this area and look for any other living life forms.
First, they're, one day, they're, like, walking, talking. Next thing you know, they're flying through the sky.
There you go.
Yeah. The first time I got, like, my Barbie Leon, my king, I made him a superhero.
There you go. So have fun. That's the main thing, is being able to have fun. Do you have anything you want to say? You want me to put that in your hair? Do you have anything you want to add? She has single-handedly probably taken out almost all of her little barrettes in the front. Do you have another one? Yeah, another barrette.
She got some in there.
Oh, she... So she stuck them in different spots herself. Well, like I said, I'm still proud of her. Because this was a long time. She's just got them randomly put into the hair. This was still longer than what she's ever had them.
Like, the first, as soon as Mom puts it in, she'll, like, walk up and then
start pulling them out.
Yeah, and then play with them on her tray. And then keep putting them in, and then start playing with them.
Yeah. So we want to thank you guys for joining us today. I'll be back with you guys again next Saturday. And we will continue this conversation of adult play therapy. Like I said, we are going beyond just talking about storyline. Storyline is still very much a part of what we do. It's just a type of play. Your play could be with basketball. Your play could be with golf. Your play could be a guitar. Your play could be singing. Your play could be with cards. Your play could be with Xbox and PlayStations. And I want us to be able to explore all of those things this year, talking about what is your line of play. What is it that makes you smile? What is it that you're passionate about? It could be coding. What makes you escape into a whole nother realm where you don't have coding, where you don't have to deal with the stress of life. So we will this year be exploring about play therapy, adult play therapy. Don't forget, pick up that book on Amazon, y'all. It's available on paperback and ebook, okay? And they have their own book. I'm gonna put it in the story. Don't Move into a Sad House.
Yes.
It's available on ebook. The kids created it. They illustrated it themselves. And it's called Don't Move into a Sad House. It's very, very cute. I love it. It's not just because it's my kids. In fact, quite honestly, if I read the story, I would get the story and read it to my kids if it was authored by somebody else. You're going to find that one under Ma Weber, M-A Weber, W-E-B-E-R. And it's a cute funny, hilarious, true story about Don't Move Into a Sad House. Check it out on ebook. Don't forget to pick up the adult play therapy book while you're at it on Amazon. It's going to go over the history of child play therapy, how it applies to us as adults, and an encouragement to keep on playing, as well as encouraging someone else right next to you to play if they feel like they're too adult to do it. Okay? So I'm hoping that you guys have an awesome, fun day. And I am going to get back into the groove with my 10 amazing children. I'm going to give a shout out to my husband who has been sitting with them all, with the rest of the 7. And thank you to him and the kids, my sons, for setting this up right here for us. I want to thank you guys for being with me also with the Sacred Pair 1K Swing Party, which is going on right now. If you have not joined, definitely get your photos in. The last day is going to be tomorrow. I'm putting your pictures in my story link, so I'll be doing that between today and tomorrow as well. So if your dolls have not joined, have them join. Anyone can join, even if you don't follow my page. Join. It's just something fun. And I want to tell you guys thank you, because this is all for you. Kind of like the Janet Jackson song. All for you. Yeah. Do. All for you. This is all for you guys. You guys made this possible. You follow my page. You comment. You post. You DM me. I wanted to be able to celebrate you and tell you thank you so much for being involved with my page, or making my page feel like it's something important, because it's not just about me. It's also about me being able to celebrate that time with my girls. Like I said, they're the origin of this page. And being able to have you guys involved, the feedback that you give, it's been amazing. And I just want to add real quick while I got your ear, I want to tell you guys thank you so much for that amazing character, Dr. Ashley Cartwright.
Yes.
Yes. Give a hand applause. She has been so much fun to create. In fact, today, didn't I got on you guys, and I was like,
who is Ashley?
Yeah, but no, yeah, because I had got on them, and I had did it with an accent. I know, she's doing her own thing. I was like, now you're gonna have to make me talk to you like Dr. Ashley, because literally I can hear her talk in my mind now. Now that she's been, kind of given more of substance. And she helped tie in my other characters. Because now with my other characters, I'm like, oh, okay, this one's the physician, and this one's the therapist, and this one's that. So she really did help me to be able to tie in my other characters. And sometimes that's all it takes. And then real quick, I still got you too. Yesterday, we also had that kind of happen as far as creating another character, because I had asked you guys, I was like, who should I have be the sculptor?
Oh, yeah.
And then I showed them all these dolls, and they were like, oh, you should have this one do the sculpting, because it would help bring out her character and her storyline. And let me bring out that sculpture real quick. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to come by the screen. I'm sorry. All right. So I am currently working on some different sculpts. And this is eco-friendly sculpting, guys. This is a commission piece. Postpartum is the theme for this one. Each one has a different theme, but this one is about postpartum. I have done collaging since I was in elementary. So before I even had kids, before I got married, I was doing collaging and just always loved it. Have a true affinity towards it. It's something that I enjoy doing. And with this piece right here, I talked about it during a brief IG live. I'm not going to talk about it too long because my 3-year-old is like, forget this. This is taking too long. But I do want to show you guys this. This is going to be seen in some future photos. So it's not going to be the very first time. If this is something that you're interested in, let me know. I would love to hook you guys up. Have you have this in your office or on your shelf as well. It doesn't even have to be this particular one because I am open for commission. So this is something that I'm going to continue to do. I'm really excited to be able to bring this 3D art to life. But yeah, just wanted to show this to you guys as well. So I was wondering who was going to be the sculptor of this masterpiece right here. My girls were like, pick this doll right here. You pick her, her story will probably come out more, and her character will come out more. And that definitely did happen, where now we have a new character in the Sacred Pair community who is the sculptor, the artist of such work. So you will be seeing more things like this also. And definitely DM me if this is something that you would like to have personally, even if it was a duplicate of this piece. So we want to thank you guys for being with us, don't we?
Yes. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining.
Here's the words. Be you.
Be you. Be you. Be creative. Be fun. Do whatever it is with your story that you want to do. You can change it whenever you want to. And know that you can do it.
And stay active.
Stay active.
active.
Say bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you for joining.
Okay.